The coronavirus has changed our health and finances forever. What's up everyone, David here with Free2Be, and thank you for joining me for another video. Now today I want to talk about some ways that our health and finances have changed and probably changed forever because of the situation with COVID-19. Now as always, before I get started, I cover financial literacy on my channel in an effort to track my progress to financial independence, and hopefully by doing that I'm creating content that can be valuable for others to use in their pursuit of financial independence as well. So if you're interested in any of this and new to my channel, please take a moment and just click the subscribe button down below. And if you're not new, thanks for joining me again. Alright, so COVID-19 has reshaped and changed our world forever. Now I don't think necessarily that all of these are bad changes. I think a few of them are actually good and positive, but that doesn't mean that they haven't changed. And change is completely normal. You know, COVID-19 or not, things change. People need to evolve and they need to adapt to the new circumstances, to the change that happens around them. So it's important not to be afraid of change, embrace it. Whatever happens, make sure you can adapt to that thing that's going on in your life, to that change, whether it's COVID-19 or something else. But hopefully this will be the last pandemic we'll have to deal with for a while. Alright, so the first thing that has changed, and I think has changed forever, is this whole concept and notion of remote working. Now, before COVID-19, a lot of companies didn't have any kind of remote work from home policy in place. But since the beginning of the year and the virus kind of ramping up, a lot of them had to adapt. A lot of companies had to start thinking about different technologies they could implement to support an entire workforce working from home. And I don't think it's going to be as easy as flicking a light switch and everybody reverts back to the way they were, working before. I think companies are going to have to evolve. They're going to have to implement and put in place work from home policies if they didn't have one previously. Because life is going to continue happening and things are going to change. And a lot of people have continued to be efficient and effective workers from home. So it's silly to think that everyone is going to just go back to work and not be allowed to ever use telecommuting or working from home ever again, because people have shown that they can be responsible with this. A lot of businesses can continue to work and move forward using work from home policies, and sometimes it could just be better. And I understand that some industries do require collaboration, but again, there's a lot of great technology tools that have been implemented and people have started using a lot more of in the past few months that can help with that. Microsoft Teams allows you to chat with up to 12 people on a screen at once. With Zoom, you can chat up to a couple hundred people on a screen at once. So there's definitely technologies that will continue to keep collaboration alive without actually having to be in the same physical space as someone else. Now, the second thing that I think has changed and changed forever is the whole cooking versus dining out. Now, the restaurant business in general, I think, has changed forever because introducing people to curbside pickup at every single restaurant is just something they're not going to be able to get away from going forward. Personally, I love this whole curbside pickup because it makes it super convenient for me. All I do is I order online, I drive to the place, I give them a call, I open my trunk, they put the food in the trunk, I come home, I eat in the convenience of my own house. I love that. And so they're not going to be able to just take that away from their patrons. Now that they're offering that, they're going to have to continue offering it. But beyond that, I think a lot more people are starting to learn that cooking in is actually a great alternative to going out and eating all the time because A, it's more cost efficient, and B, sometimes it's usually just healthier. And I think what this pandemic has done is given people a lot of opportunity to learn and hone their cooking skills so they're able to more effectively feed themselves at home. I know personally, I've picked up a few extra recipes that I didn't know prior to this that now I'm incorporating into my weekly meal plans. So I think going forward, people are just generally going to be eating out a lot less. Now, I know I'll still be going out once in a while because I do like to support restaurants and I do like the restaurant industry, but it's not going to be as common as it was before. Now, the third thing that I think will change forever is education and how we consume that. So I think online education is going to be a larger part of our world going forward. And while that did exist previously, I just think a lot more institutions are going to have to institute online curriculum if students want to approach their education in that way. And I think this goes beyond just the timeline with this virus. Yes, it's not safe to be in closed spaces on campuses, classrooms right now with everything going on, but I think going into the future as well, people are just going to want to be in the convenience of their own home, specifically for higher learning, right? I don't need to go to a college campus to get that same kind of education. Yes, the socialization, and I'll miss out on all that stuff and the big college life and all that. In terms of education, if you want to just take it online, you should be able to take it online. Now, the fourth item on this list is spending versus saving habits. As soon as this all what went down, I noticed that I was saving a lot more money. And part of it wasn't consciously. I wasn't actually thinking about saving more. I wasn't saying to myself, I need to start saving a lot more because things are about to get really bad. There were just expenses that I was cutting out of my life. You know, my daily coffee if I was getting one, going out to eat at lunchtime, commuting costs with gas, maintaining and upkeep for my car. I mean, there were a lot of costs that I just wasn't thinking about because they were incorporated into my day-to-day life that I just haven't had to really spend money on over the past 4 or 5 months. And this is money that I've been saving. So I think a lot of people are starting to see this shift about how they were spending money before and their saving habits. And ultimately what this has done is made them refocus and consciously think about their spending habits and saving habits and alter them and change them for their future. Now, the 5th item on this list kind of falls into that, and that is shopping. I think shopping changes in terms of how we were doing it in the past. Personally, I haven't even shopped that much this year, and the few items I have bought, I bought them online and had them delivered to my house. But I'm just thinking, like, you know, grocery shopping. You know, a lot more people are having groceries delivered to their house. There's really no need to go to a grocery store. Brick and mortar shops, shopping malls. These things might be things of the past. You'll see a lot of smaller brick and mortar stores close down and then maybe relaunch an e-commerce site that's strictly online. Personally, again, I'm not going to need to go to a shopping mall. Yes, it was convenient to go and actually see and test out a physical product. If it was an item of clothing that I wanted, yeah, it was nice to go and try it on. But you know what? I'd rather just order it and return it online. If it costs me a few extra bucks in terms of return shipping, so be it. But I think the time and energy spent going out and actually going to a physical place, I'd rather just spend the extra 20 bucks and ship it back, if that cost even ends up falling on me. Now, the 6th thing I think will change forever is travel. Now, we haven't seen, you know, impact to our travel like this since 2001. And honestly, I think this one will even have a bigger impact on our airlines, on our hospitality, on just, you know, tourism destinations, all over the world. I think this whole concept of just being this global place where people could just travel freely between country to country, state to state, I think that kind of goes away for the next few years. I think people are going to be traveling a lot less. I know from just me, I'm not going to be comfortable traveling really anywhere that I can't get to with my car for probably at least the next 18 months, if not 2 years. And I think you'll see that with a lot of other people too. I think people are just going to be hesitant to travel because they just don't know, right? There are safety concerns now that they're worried about. They're worried about the health and safety of their family, and they're just not going to be as likely to travel as they might have been before COVID-19. Now, the 7th item on this list is mental health. And I think mental health and our approach to it is also going to be changed forever, because a lot of people are now realizing the toll that it takes on people being isolated for 3-4 months. I think people are going to be a lot more aware of mental health and try to seek treatment for it. They're not just going to let it go undiagnosed. If somebody needs some help with it, they'll actually go and get help with it. And whether that's just teleconferencing and telemedicine or speaking to someone over the phone, whatever the case may be, I think people are really going to take it more seriously. And I think our approach to mental health will change, which is ultimately a really good thing. And finally, the last thing that I think will change forever, and I saved this last one for last because I think it's something that changes for the positive, and I wanted to end it on a positive note, but that's maintaining social ties, maintaining relationships. I think this is something that has really improved, because prior to this, you know, if you had a date with a friend or you were going to meet up with another group or have people over, you might have been tempted to cancel if you weren't feeling like going out. You know, that face-to-face interaction, it's a lot easier for you to blow it off. But now with everything going on, people are making more of an effort to connect with friends, whether it's texting daily or maybe phone calls once in a while or FaceTime, you know, Zoom, whatever it is, some kind of video interaction. People are more likely now to engage with their friends than ever before. They want to maintain those relationships. I'm in that same category. I mean, before this, yes, I'd see my friends once in a while, but now I miss them and I want to keep in touch. I want to send them texts. I want to see their faces on video. You know, I try to make that extra effort, and I think a lot more people are doing that as well. So I think the social dynamics, our interactions, our relationships, I think they're really going to improve given everything that's gone on over the past few months. Alright guys, well that's all I had for this video. If you think I left anything off this list, please let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, please take a moment and just click the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you next time.